Hey fam!
Let's be
3D.
Hey fam, welcome back to Let's Be 3D. Naomi was swatting something.
It was a gnat.
It's a little bitty nap.
A little bitty nap. Anyway, we are here continuing our conversation about 2017 mission trip. We were over there how many weeks?
This one I think was like 8.
Yes.
7 or 8.
Weeks. Okay. And we're on to Romania. We finished talking about Serbia and both Serbian camps, the Hungarian camp, our concert tour, and then we traveled to Romania.
By ourselves.
That was the thing we did differently this year in 2017 was we rented a van because we were like, it's just going to be easier for us to be able to travel. If we need to go do something, if daddy needs to go get something, we have
rented the van for the whole trip.
Yeah, we have that ability. And so it was really nice. And yes, daddy learned to drive European style.
Reminded himself how to drive a stick.
Yeah. Because
It was a standard. So that was fun. Anyway, so we drove to Romania.
Yes.
And
before we get going on that, should we roll call so people know who we are?
We're not going to do that. Y'all are just going to guess.
Yeah.
No, I forgot to do that. Yes, roll call. I was jumping in the deep end, but roll call. I'm Abby. Hi.
I'm Jacob. Hi.
Jacob.
I'm going to mess it up. I was thinking Veggie Tales.
Bob the tomato.
No. Larry.
The cucumber.
No. From Daniel.
Oh,
No.
I'm a
Daniel.
bumblebee.
I'm Shaq. I'm Rack.
Shaq and Benny.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Benny. I'm a bumblebee. A Benny Boo.
I'm Benny.
Anyway, that's what I was thinking. I was messing it up in my head. Anyway.
It's all good. We don't care. You gonna say your name, woman, or are you just gonna say?
Abby. Anyway, Naomi's here.
Yes, and Josh was here, and we are definitely excited about sharing memories from Romania because I definitely have a lot more memories of this year.
Yes,
because being there, we were there 3 weeks, and we did a lot of stuff there. So, yeah, pointing it back to Abby
you,
there.
Abby.
Okay.
Now you can jump in.
Yes.
Now that everybody knows who's here.
So sorry I forgot that, y'all. It's a little different sort of intro this time. I always forget that when I have to intro. I think I always do.
I think
I don't
Jump
know.
in and everybody's like, can I say my name or something?
Let people know I'm here.
Yes. So we traveled to Romania. As we've mentioned before in earlier podcasts, we stayed in the top apartment of a building. There was
a building,
just a random building.
Just a random building,
We're like, oh, that looks like a good place.
Like townhouse style kind of thing.
It was 3-story building. The pastor and his family lived on the first floor. Her sister lived on the second floor. And so the third floor they used to house anyone who came to serve at the church and surrounding areas. So that's where we stayed. So we had like our own quarters and everything. And of course, Kami fed us very well. That's the pastor's wife. And so it was good to see them again, rejoin fellowship. And then we hit off kids camp at Gibeau Baptist Church.
Yes.
We learned a lot the first year. Yes, it was right across the street. We basically walked.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Just walked.
The only time we ever drove anywhere is when we would go play at churches. Outside Gibeau, or when we would go down to the camp.
Because we were within like 10 minutes of like the store and stuff too.
Yes, so it was very nice.
We walked everywhere.
Well, we learned a lot from the first year because this was our first full-on experience with the total day camp. And we weren't used to that. So we kind of set a little more guidelines for the second year coming in. We were like, okay, we need a little bit more orderly. accounting for every child that comes in,
right,
and kind of making sure that it's not just, I'm going to come this day and then I'll get a free ukulele and not come. Again, actually, we kept ukuleles at the church.
No, you're that's Sir Duke at the first year.
Sorry,
no, Jabot was different.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Jabot was different.
So we did allow them to take them home, and it was just precaution at Sir Duke. We wanted commitment,
Yeah. I think this year I don't remember having any kids that didn't come back unless, I think there was one kid that got sick.
Okay.
In the middle of the week, and he couldn't come back.
Okay. So we would get everybody a name tag, and we would put name tags on. So it was a better experience.
Yes.
Than the first year. So it did step up. And I honestly, we had professional translators. Kind of professional, meaning they were hired as translators.
Right.
So we had 4 young adults, right?
There on call, there were 6 or 7 people. Nice. We had Teo,
of course,
his daughter Daniela, Bogdan, who served as mom's primary translator. We had Raul, who the last year served as mine, but this year he was kind of more of an alternate.
Well,
and I think he served as Joshua's as well.
He did not serve during the kids' camp.
Okay.
He was only during.
Then we had Naomi Kendi, who served with Naomi.
That was fun.
Marius and Diana Pope.
Yes.
And Lavinia was an alternative as well.
Marius is her brother, right?
Naomi? No, different Marius. Different Marius.
The pastor.
Okay.
Yes. Now, I think Naomi's older brother, who's a pastor in the area.
Yeah.
I believe he did translate one day, one time.
I don't remember.
But there was a handful. There were several that were on call to help us out with translating. We did not suffer for lack of translators.
So we were very thankful for that. Deanna was my translator, and we were put back in a Sunday school classroom, school room, big table. We had all the girls sit around. I don't remember a lot about kids camp.
I remember that this is the one and only time.
It's kind of scrambled in my brain.
Yeah, I understand. This is the one and only time that I had a beginner group other than the first years in Merch FC.
Oh, really?
I was given the beginner boys.
Really?
At this camp, yes.
Nice.
I think it might have been something about just switching it up, making it different for everybody involved.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly,
well, I don't
but
think
I do
we
remember.
had any advanced kids.
Like super advanced.
We did not.
No.
We more had intermediate.
Yeah.
And then we had beginner, and then we had very beginner.
Yeah, which Mama?
So Mama took
Mom had those.
The ones under 10.
Yeah.
Probably. And she and Bogdan would work with them along with Joe Mark. Joe Mark would help Mom in this situation.
Yes.
I believe he was kind of Mom's
Yes.
assistant.
Yeah.
I don't think he had his own group in
Romania. No.
Then I'm guessing, I don't know if I took the beginner girls or I might have taken the beginner
Mom had
girls.
all the little kids, and then I think we split the rest of the boys and girls into 4 groups.
Or did I take the
And
intermediate?
they took
You
2
had
girls.
Almost, not
Abby
quite.
and
Remember.
Joshua had the intermediate
Okay.
groups because
Okay.
Alexandra, the girl from the last time we showed about Romania, she was in Abby's group.
Okay.
And I had Violetta again, and I had 4. I had a very small group. So I think that's how that worked. Is y'all had
Sort of like that. I think Abby took the ones that were older, because I had 4 7 and under. Seriously, I had 4 little kids. I mean, they were great. I mean, most of them were, I think all of them were returning campers.
Yeah, because you had Phineas, didn't
I did
you?
have Phineas. And
so
he
you
was-
took
he was awesome.
I mean,
little ones.
well, he was awesome to a point. I mean, his mom, Christine, is so sweet and still very supportive of us. But Phineas, yeah, he was definitely the character. I mean, he definitely had musical talent, and he was, willing to learn, but he just was very mischievous.
And
Anyway,
his attention span wasn't that long either.
Right. And I had also there was this one family in the church that we knew the kids better than the parents, but Estra, Titus, and I cannot for the life of me remember their youngest brother, but I had him in my group, and he was also a handful. And then I had Maria, who was the drama queen of the group, and then I don't remember his name also, but he was quiet, but he never acted up. He was kind of watching the other three going, okay.
Now that you mention this, I'm kind of remembering that Mama had a bigger group, and
she did. She had
I think she had like the beginners.
I can't remember. Was kids? Did we have?
Some of the
we had we always had large camps at Romania.
We did.
Yes. We did.
And if you only had 4 and you only had 4 to half a dozen.
I had 4. I don't know how many Abby had.
I had a dozen at least. I had a dozen or so boys.
If I'm remembering right,
that means that Mama had like 30 some odd kids. I don't think Mama had that large group.
Well, we might have done honestly was done it more age-wise.
Yeah.
So I took the youngest ones that returned, and then Naomi took the next up that returned. Mm-hmm. Abby took the next up, and it specifically girls that returned, and then you took the ones that were older, and then some. I think you had a few students that were new but already had some type of musical. They were older, so they were.
I really think we had a lot of. I really think we had beginners.
Yeah.
More in this camp.
So we split them up more evenly, maybe?
I think we split them up more age-wise than
I think you're
talent-wise.
Yeah. Right.
That would make sense, and that would make sense. Mama did have the biggest group. I wouldn't say she had 30, but I'm sure she had like 20 or so.
She had a good group.
Because she had them all spread out.
Yes.
Right. Because she was in the sanctuary.
Yes.
And this sanctuary... It was a fairly good sized sanctuary. It would have probably held. Well, you had the lower level and the balcony, and a beautiful church too. Beautiful church.
It was beautiful.
I would say it could fit 300-400 people.
Oh yeah,
all told.
Well, because when we
it
had
was packed.
Oh yeah,
every time we had a concert.
the finale concert at the end of kids camp, the church was completely full, standing room only.
Yeah.
And I wish I could find pictures. I can. It's just gonna take a little bit of
lost
digging.
Somewhere in cyberspace.
But because I don't remember exactly how many girls I had and whatever. I know I had Violetta and a girl named Anna who grew up in the church. So like, I knew who she was because she was around when we had services and stuff. And then I had Esra, and she was 15. She was older than kids' age, but she was there because they were going on vacation at teen camp, and so she wouldn't be at teen camp, but she wanted to do ukulele. And she was also a side translated because for some reason I remember a day that Naomi wasn't there and Esra translated.
Yeah.
And her sister or cousin, sister and a cousin, I don't remember exactly. So she was able to kind of help me maintain
corral people
and to give let y'all know who Violetta and Alexandra are. They're the two gypsy girls that we talked about in previous Romanian episodes about the whole racist deal that you experienced and you're sharing and everything. So it was really cool to see them come back.
So I had the younger one, and then Alexandra was in Abby, and we didn't have any issues.
Remember having
I didn't have any issues.
Racial.
No,
we didn't have
it was
any
a lot
racial
better.
issues this time.
I do remember having Alexandra in my group, and I probably had like 8 other girls, 7 or 8. I had under 10, I think, but it was good.
It was good.
I feel so bad that I don't have a lot of memory of how it went in detail.
Exactly.
I do remember that, and just want to mention this, not only would we teach them ukulele, but we would also have a teaching lesson, and Mom did a lot of that. And I think Pastor Tay would sometimes be there for that too.
Yes. He would.
Whether
if
to
Bogdan didn't
translate
translate Mom, then he would. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I remember a lot of time she had some great lessons.
She really pulled
And-
out some amazing object lessons.
Yes.
Object lessons. One I remember in particular was about the chicken and the eagle.
Yes.
Right. So the eagle, he's surrounded by chickens, and he thinks he's a chicken.
Yeah.
So he's grown up, surrounded by chickens. He believes he's a chicken. So he acts like a chicken. And then he sees an eagle soaring up in the sky, and he's like, oh, it'd be so great to fly like that. And all the chickens look at him. You can't do that. You can't fly like that. You're a chicken. And so just about when we live among the world, and that people tell us who we are based on who they are, or based on who you were before you met Christ, and how that we are the eagle. We are born to fly, born to be more than a chicken. And it was just a cool example. She taught it both at kids and teen camp.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we've always mentioned about Mom just being that mother to anyone, especially those who really needed it, and approachable and full of examples, full of what did you call it? Object lessons.
Oh, yeah.
And that was probably my favorite memories, and that's why I have more memories of like the teaching and then like playing at the churches than actually doing the ukulele stuff, which I kind of feel bad about, but you know.
Well, the thing was that we only did that from about 9 a.m. till 1-ish in the afternoon. So we only had the kids for like, what is that, 4 hours?
Yeah.
Well, I think we did an hour, maybe.
Something like that. I think it was more hour, 15, 30 minutes.
Because we would have a break.
Yeah.
I do remember the breaks, and I would be like,
restrooms,
okay, you're going to walk.
We did.
Wash
We
your
would
hands.
we would bring all the kids in and have like an opening prayer and whatever, and then everybody would spread out.
Yeah.
And then hour 15-ish, everybody come back. We'd have the teaching lesson, use the restroom, whatever, and then go back for another hour 15 or so. And then at the end, we would do the playing for picks if there were any of the students who wanted to do that, and then we'd be done for the day.
Did we have any, because I remember also we hung out with Bogdan and Naomi a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Because we knew Bogdan from the previous year, and he was just a great guy. He'd been to America, and so he spoke very good English. We met his family. Let's see. His mom's name's Rada. What's his dad's name again? Niku.
Yeah.
Who was a police officer, so that was really cool. And he could tell us some stories and stuff through Bogdan. His parents didn't know a lot of English, and then his sister Daria was actually a camper. I believe she was in your group.
I don't know if she was in my group.
No, she was in Mom's
I think
group.
she was in Mom's
Okay, she
group,
was
but
in
she was a
Mom's
camper.
group. Yeah. So we knew his family and stuff, and he was just a great guy. And then Naomi, we were meeting for the first time, but we really connected with her, and just their personalities and heart for service, they would go above and beyond what they were being paid for, that ended up being an, I don't want to say an issue, but something that started concerning us about just our heart for ministry versus what the people we were working with were wanting. And we actually weren't aware that they were getting paid until that year.
Because beforehand, when in Serbia, any translator we had was offering their time out of the
was all
kindness of their
volunteer.
heart. It
Well,
was
at Merch
volunteer.
FC, at Merch FC, our translators came from the teachers, volunteers, whoever was
Yeah.
working at the camp. alongside us. And then in Mordovica, it was a combination of that. And then the last year that we just talked about, they brought in some people from Hungary.
But even then, they
no
were
payment. They were
volunteers.
volunteers.
And we were starting again, we're not going to name specific names, but there were a few of the translators that were not giving their best. They would show up late. They would just, throughout the whole week, not just kids camp. I'm kind of bleeding in a little to teen camp, but
and
it
then
was
you find out they're getting paid, and we're
you're
like, okay,
well,
you
if you're
better
getting
be on
paid,
time.
exactly.
Yeah. Right.
But Bolkan and Naomi were just, they wanted to get to know us, not just work for us.
Yeah.
So when we were done with ukulele, we would play games, go on walks. We went to her house twice, I believe, that year. Her mom fed us so
Oh, my
Lord.
word.
It was so
Her
sweet.
mom and Bogdan's mom.
Rada,
Those
the
two
best.
meals that we had 2 meals with the Bindias, which is
Yes.
Bogdan's family, and then the Kendis. I
Yes.
think we had 2 meals with them as well.
No,
one
we
each
only
week.
we only did one.
We
Only
did
did
one.
Okay.
Anyway,
Now
but
we hung out with Naomi a lot.
Naomi a
but-
lot.
Oh, yeah.
But we
And
only went to
Bogdan,
their house.
his family fed us twice. Or am I
Yeah.
thinking
Yes.
one each year?
No,
No,
they fed us-
no, they
they
No,
fed us
one each
twice.
week.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I
Those
don't
were the
think we
best
mentioned
meals.
that when we were talking about 2016 Romania, but that was our first taste of tiramisu, and we
Oh,
have
my
never gone back.
word.
That's why we were so we have to make this keto.
We have to
because
ketoize
it was
this.
so good.
Oh yeah.
It was good. I
Yes.
want to share about Bogdan's mom.
Yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to
Because,
kind of
again, we've mentioned the whole, and just, you feel like you're getting into, I don't know how to say it, just where it is ministry, but then it's like, okay, so they're being paid. And I mean, to volunteer, and we're volunteering our time. We're not being paid for this.
Yeah.
And so when you start working with people who want compensation, you just kind of get on edge, and that's, we struggled
it's a
with that a
different
little
relationship.
bit.
You don't
Yeah.
connect as much on a spiritual level.
Exactly. And that's why a lot of my memories from Romania surround actually getting to spend time with people and talk to them. And, that was
Yeah.
another hard part was day camps. It's like you had the kids for that long. And where in Serbia, not only did we teach them music, not only did we participate in Bible instruction and stuff like that, but we also played games with them. We talked to them just
Right.
for light conversation. We
Yeah.
ate with them. It was just, we were so engrossed in their lives for a week.
Right.
And just that feeling in Romania of distance and,
Yeah.
Right.
of course, that's all that could be done, with the day camp. But that's why I don't have a ton of memories
Right.
from that.
Yeah.
But back to Bogdan's mom, surrounding the subject of paying for things when, it's ministry and stuff like that. I'm not saying the labor is worthy of his hire. I'm not talking about pastors. I'm not talking about people who are in ministry full time. Just talking about volunteer work and stuff like that and doing stuff out of the kindness of your heart. I just wanted to clarify that. But we were at her house and she was sharing with us, because Bogdan knew we were struggling with it all. And so it was really nice to be able to share with someone over there, because he and mom would talk, we would talk with him, and just, the struggle and being like, okay, we didn't know that y'all are actually on hire, but he was all about volunteering. And so when they took us in and fed us the meal, and I guess the subject got brought up, I don't know how,
Yeah.
but she started sharing about American church people that had come over to minister, to volunteer over in Romania, stayed at their house. They offered their house, they stayed. And the day they left, so they fed them, they talked with them, fellowshiped with them. The day the American volunteers left, they left money to pay for their stay. And it hurt her because she was like, did they think we did all this just for a paycheck? that wasn't her heart.
Yeah.
And, it was really cool to talk to hear that from her, to hear her heart, and just know that that was a safe place for us, was that they were just doing it out of the kindness of their heart. And anyway, yes, she did make the best tiramisu.
Oh, it was so good.
They fed us
Two
royally.
other things that I think we did during this week that I want to cover is we did the Shadowland CD release party,
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
And didn't we climb to the cross that week too? Because that was before teen camp, because Julia and
Naomi
the other
came
girl
with
were
us.
not happy that we went without them.
Yeah, Naomi came with us, and I think Bogdan did as well.
Yes, and
And
Pastor
Teo's
Teo and
family.
Emmy. No, just those two.
Just those two.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
thought Daniela was with us.
No, she
No,
No,
she
no,
wasn't.
no.
Sorry.
I think that was more
say that was after the
That was like
sightseeing tour,
Saturday.
like, or maybe it was.
It was sometime before the teen camp.
I think it was like Saturday. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking about?
It was
'Cause-
not
Yeah.
during kids camp. It was that week, though, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So,
But
like-
we should talk about, I think, at least like before we completely wrap up the podcast, talk about the CD release party, because that was really cool.
It was really cool. Well, throughout the week, we performed sometimes at a church service because they had stuff throughout the week. They also had they had a Thursday night church service at Jabot, so we
Right.
would play for that. And then I want to say, was it Friday? When was it that we did this CD release
It
party?
was Friday.
I want to say
Okay.
it's Friday.
So we went
Yeah.
out. They have this. I guess it's not a camp, where you stay, but they have soccer field out there. They have a pavilion. They have all
Right.
this kind of stuff. So it's basically almost like a fairground type thing without places to stay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were
Anyway.
no places to stay, but it was a
Camp
Facility.
Of sorts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Anyway,
complete
so
without houses.
We
Yes.
asked Pastor Teo because our CD, Shadowlands, was being released that week, and we asked him, "Hey, can we do a CD release party? Overseas, right at this pavilion?" There, he was like, "Sure, let's do it." So we had. Now, of course, they went above. That was probably one of my favorite memories. Just with everybody there, was
Yeah.
just they went above and beyond. We played our music. There was probably 150 people.
There was a good many
There
people
was quite
there.
a few
There was
people
quite a
there.
few
They
people.
created a sign.
Yes.
They baked us a cake, right?
Yes, and they
Like,
had
we had
different.
no
I mean,
idea.
it was
just really cool.
just so much fun,
It was
and
fun.
got to really connect with with some of the teens of the church, because a lot of them, that we were able to connect with, came back
Right.
later for
Right. For
you
the
know,
teen camp.
right. So anyway, it was so much fun, and we again, it was
Naomi
definitely
did break a bass string though. That
Yes,
Yes.
that was
yes
disastrous. Twice.
Yeah.
one each year. You
One
did
each
it.
Yeah.
year. I don't know
Both
why.
in
We all-
Romania?
Yes.
Yes, both in Romania.
And we
So
both we all turned to Bogdan like, help.
Yes, that's.
do you know a
that's,
place?
I
Yeah.
remember you talking about us performing throughout the week. That's why we connected so much with Bogdan and Naomi. Was maybe not every single time, but at least one of us was with us most of the time as an extra translator.
Right.
Bogdan, where did y'all go
Bogdan
to
was-
that music shop to get
It
the
started
bass
with a
strings?
Z. What was the name of it?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Zello, I think. Zello.
Yes.
Yes.
Something like that.
So he
We didn't
did
go all the
some-
way to Cluj.
No. But he did some searching around and found us a music shop in Zello.
Yeah.
And went with the guys because I didn't go.
I think. I think mom.
I think
it was mom, me, Joshua, and
Joshua,
Bogdan.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
but
that was
didn't
it.
Rada drive us?
She may have.
She might have. I don't
Anyway,
remember.
but they
No,
went.
because
that
Mama
was-
doesn't drive stick, so it was
Because it wasn't Bogdan. I can tell you that. It was
no.
Rada. I think.
Bogdan came with us, but
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was
Because we
Dad.
also stopped at
Was
the-
it Dad, me, you, and Bogdan? Maybe
It might have been. I don't remember.
Anyway, but he
It
found
was
us some
fun.
bass
it
strings.
wasn't. It wasn't the whole family. Is the
Yes.
point?
But we packed them. that time, didn't we? The second year. The first year we were in a scramble trying to find him, and he helped us.
That's true.
That's
the
right.
second year we were ready. Because the first year it had happened at church. We had like done the morning music or whatever, and I laid it down, and then I came back and I was like, I don't know what just happened, but there are now 3 strings on the bass.
Yeah.
And then the second year I was actually playing it.
Yes.
And it popped on me.
Yeah.
Which is a lot better than a stand-up, but still scares me half to death.
Yeah.
But that camp was the camp was great. But talking about the CD release party, this was our first actual official CD release party.
Right.
And to do it in a foreign country was interesting, but also really cool because we'd seen videos of like the Willis Clan. We were watching them on
Facebook.
We would watch them on TV.
TLC.
Thank you, because it was the same one that we watched Duggars on TLC. We saw them do their CD release party, so we saw like other bands doing CD release parties. So we were like, kind of had a picture of what it was supposed to look like, but we also knew it was going to be different because it was in Romania, and we didn't know how many people would come. But again, they went above and beyond setting up the event, and it was just a great time. They grilled after, so we played first for like an hour or so.
We played every song on the CD,
plus maybe some
and
favorites.
Orange Blossom Special or something.
Yeah,
like
something like that. And we went live on Facebook. Somehow we were able to have service out there.
Yeah.
It's on Facebook somewhere if you scroll back far enough. I found it. I should probably save it and repost it.
There you go.
Anyway, because Joe Mark's like this high and Justice. Anyway, it's a cool video.
And he still has his boy voice, doesn't he?
Yes. Anyway, so that was really cool that week. And we'll get into more of why we felt God closing the door, at least for a time, in Romania. But it was Bogdan and Naomi. We still keep up with them, especially me and Naomi on Instagram. Just the blessing that they were.
Yeah.
Because just once we found out that the people were getting paid to do anything in regards to the music camp, everything was being paid for. It was kind of like, okay, that would have been nice to know from the beginning, but then also not only because we were aware for financial purposes, but also standard purposes. So like if you're late, hey, we're paying you.
Yeah, there was
some standard issues of we weren't going to press anything because they're on volunteer, something could have happened that made them late or whatever. So that was just something that we had to work through, and friendships like with Bogdan and Naomi and their families really helped.
Yes.
And then we had that break, kind of. We were all over the place, which we'll get into that in the next episode or part.
Coming soon.
Yeah,
coming next week.
Our sightseeing trip of Romania.
Which was actually super cool. But it was a good break, kind of to breathe and get some guidelines set up-ish.
We didn't really have a whole lot of chance to breathe.
I remember Dad and Mom talking a lot with Pastor Teo and Kami, though, about guidelines, since we knew they were being paid and stuff like that. And just talking about a lot of stuff in
some
the
accountability
future.
Stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a measure of accountability.
It was good that we had that week. We weren't prepared for everywhere they were going to take us, but it was good that we had that because it kind of gave us some time to plan a bit for teen camp, which ended up being very, very good. And the ending of the whole trip ended on a very high note until Hurricane Harvey, but we'll get there.
Yes. So lots of stuff coming up
soon.
2017.
But anything before we officially wrap up, anything y'all want to mention?
I think, there's a lot more to be shared. We mentioned the sightseeing trip, and there were some cool moments during the teen camp week because we had the that first night during the teen camp. I mean, it was a day camp, but we went out to the campground. Do you remember? And there's all of us there, and so there were some cool moments there. And then also the big concert at the end, Hurricane Harvey, all that kind of stuff. So it is coming soon.
Yes.
So
we'll save the adventure of climbing to the cross to kick off, because we did that before, because we played a concert before we left. So that's when that was. Anyway, you two good over there?
Yes, we're good.
Okay. So
yeah, I don't got nothing.
I don't got nothing.
Thank y'all so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed. We know this was kind of a little all over the place and shallow compared to others, but Abby brought the depth with your story of the eagle and the chicken, so thank you for that. And we hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Why are you? She's messing with my hair. Am I good now? Thank you. Speaking of that, for those of you watching, our $10 subscribers in the fan club, which if you are not, you may want to go check that out on thefamilysal.com so you can actually see us while we're talking.
Yeah.
Wow.
See all our
If you're-
facial expressions.
If
Jamie
you're
make weird
interested
faces at you.
in not just listening but seeing the visual, you can do that by becoming a $10 subscriber. So for
Right.
those of you who are seeing us, you may notice we're actually matching today. Wearing
planned
our
Highly unusual.
chosen shirts. The package came yesterday,
Yay.
which would be last week when you're actually listening to this. But anyway, we support them 100%. We've paid it forward, and we're hoping to do that again when we can. But if y'all have not seen The Chosen, and for those of you listening, if you haven't seen The Chosen, definitely go check it out.
Definitely.
It's really, it's actually kind of brought back some memories of our mission trips, at least for me, just Jesus' heart and our heart for ministry, and
Yeah.
he's chosen us, and just all that. Just really good reminders and beautiful stories of the disciples. God's chosen Messiah choosing his chosen disciples. It's kind of where
Exactly.
this name comes from. But we highly recommend you can go download the app, search whatever app store you use, Google Play or Apple, and just search The Chosen, and it'll come up. It's completely free to watch. And you can also see some cool interviews and behind the scenes content and stuff like that. So
Yes.
the second season just finished.
It
so you
is.
actually have 2 whole seasons that you can go watch.
Yes.
Binge Jesus is their hashtag. So
Yes.
we wanted to show them support on our podcast. It would be a dream come true to actually like maybe interview them on a podcast one day. That would be actually really cool.
Yeah, that would be
That would be
awesome.
cool.
So
If we could
please
figure out how to
How to
subscribe.
do that? That'd be awesome.
Please subscribe again if you haven't. I think I mentioned that earlier before I got off on The Chosen. Anyway, subscribe and share. It's super easy. You can share it to your Instagram or Facebook stories or just post about it. And let us know if you're listening, because that's always nice to know
Yes.
people are listening to
It
us.
is nice to know
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
someone
leave a
hears
comment
us.
on YouTube, send us a message, send us a voice message. You can do that.
Say hi.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Say boo.
Please do not say that.
You
sorry.
can to come back here more VeggieTale quotes.
Woo.
We post every week when we're home. It's kind of a side thing right now, but we're super glad that we have the ability to do this. Thank y'all again for listening, and we will, or you will hear from us for the next part of a
Let's
universal language on Let's B3D, and you'll get to hear about us gallivanting all over Romania.
Exactly.
Gallivanting.
So we
Gallivanting.
love y'all. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you, and you can hear from us next time.
Wow.
And as always,
Peace, love, fam.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the opinions or standard of the family Sowell.
Have a lovely day.